Hello, welcome to the Limelight Sessions. I'm Gareth. I'm joined here today with The Fallen State, Liberty Lies, and Psycho Village. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, all good,
Very
man.
good.
Nice to see you.
Good, thank you.
Awesome. So, you guys have played together before and possibly toured before. Have all of you toured at the same time before? Like the three of you?
Yes.
So this is your how many number tour together?
The second
That's a
time,
difficult
right?
question, actually.
It depends what people you ask, right?
Yeah, who was
Yeah.
in the band at the time? I guess is it?
There was with the four of us here. There's four different bands that have all played together.
Yeah.
Because the first time was in 2018.
Or in
when it
different
was-
different projects and things. Is it?
Yeah,
Or-
so it was the Fallen State, Liberty Lies, in Psycho Village, and then my band at the time, the Lost Days, with the support band in Doncaster. I was in a different band then, so there's like four different bands going on now.
on the way. That's pretty cool.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
We've all played the same gig.
Yeah. Do you remember the backstage in Doncaster that was like
Or the lack
separated
of.
with stools? Do you remember that?
It's just like a it was just like a fucking warehouse.
Yeah.
But then Adam's also been part of the band. Like Adam did a tour as the drummer with the Fallen State, didn't you, Adam? Was it just one tour?
Yeah. So we done the Liberty Lies supported the Fallen State twice. Once with Psycho Village, and then, but obviously Adam wasn't in the Fallen State at the time. Other Adam, and then So I've toured with the Fallen State with Adam, and Danny come on the tour as well. So yeah, it's quite an incestuous, weird mix of musicians. But yeah, a couple of times is the answer.
So, Fallen State and Liberty Lies, you guys have known each other for a while then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so we met each other, I don't know what year it was. So Liberty Lies were touring with Soil, and the Fallen State opened one of the, was it Plymouth?
No,
Feel
I
like
think it
it's
was
Plymouth.
Oxford, mate. I think we opened Oxford. Yeah.
Was it Oxford? Oh, okay. Yeah, so we met those guys then, and Greg from the Fallen State did his usual sales pitch on us to try and keep us tight and keep in touch with anything that we were doing, and they offered us a support tour, which was 2018. So yeah, we've kind of like known each other since then.
Yeah, and then Danny and Greg. I think did we meet each other when we were on the Pop Evil tour, or was it on the Three Doors Down tour, Danny?
That was the first Psycho Village meeting.
The first time, like you and me met. You mean?
Yeah. Or was it?
No,
Unzucked or
it
something?
wasn't 2018 on your headliner.
Was it? We hadn't played together before then.
No.
Ah, okay. Cool.
No,
Danny's
I think
the master though. Like he gets on everything. Yeah.
I don't. I get on some things, but you guys probably played with bigger bands than we have, so you win that one. So, anyways, I think I saw a Facebook advert for Nova, like probably sometime in 2017, and then we got the support tour for Nothing More, which I think Greg tried to get you guys on, but we got it. And then I put in to support you guys because I followed you on Facebook and I saw you guys were touring. I was like, I'll give it a shot. Maybe they need a support band. And I think Greg kind of wanted to have us on the tour because he wanted to see who got the Nothing More slot instead of you guys. I think that's like the origin story.
Sounds like Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It was-
definitely.
It was all to do with pitching sort of support slots and things and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's it. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much of it is just reaching out and sending like messages and seeing what you get away with. You know what I mean?
How far you can
So,
push it,
Or
sort
Or
of
like
thing.
how many times you can annoy someone until they scream at you, or give you the slot that you want.
I think it's just having a bit of confidence in yourself as well to sort of think, yeah, why not, sort of thing as well. You know,
Exactly.
just
That's it.
yeah, what's the worst that can happen, sort of attitude.
Do you want to know what the worst that can happen is? Because I can tell you.
By all means, yeah, yeah,
Right.
go ahead.
So this is 2023, and I saw 3 Days Grace were playing 2 one-off shows in Germany. So I think I emailed them probably, well, not them, but the local promoter, national promoter, probably about 10 times. And by the 9th time, I got a reply, they have a support. And then I email again, like a month out of the tour, because they didn't announce anyone yet. And I was like, well, you don't have a support yet, so what's up? Like, we're still available. And they're like, no, they have someone, not interested. And then a week before the tour happens, or is supposed to happen for 3 Days Grace, I email them again because there's still no support announced. Don't hear back. I hear back the day before the first show, like literally 5 or 6 p.m. before the first show. And they email me and are like, well, the support band that's meant to do it, that we didn't and never announced, pulled out. They can't do it. Can you guys still play? So we're like, yeah, we'll get on the car, drive there. Like, we'll be there in 7 hours. And we were on tour with Escape the Fate at that time. So luckily, I think Leipzig it was on the way. So we drive to Leipzig 6 or 7 hours, thinking we're going to play with 3 Days Grace tomorrow. This is amazing. This is like a 3,000 cap venue. Dream come true. I love these guys. I wake up in the morning, get an email. The actual support band showed up. We don't need you guys anymore.
Oh, no. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh.
We're literally parking in front of the venue.
God.
That's brutal.
Doesn't that just sum up the music industry entirely?
Pretty much, right?
Oh, that's awful.
Just to put this out there, because people...
at it. I'm sorry to laugh, Danny, but
that's so harsh.
I know, it's a good story, right? But just to put this out there, I'm pretty sure 3 Days Grace never heard of that whole story, and it was just some local agent's decision. Just because I don't want to burn any bridges, you know how it goes.
It's
but yeah,
probably nothing to do with them. No, yeah.
You never know. Maybe I'll get another shot. And
he's still plugging for the next one.
I will. Trust me. I think they're about to announce some shows, so maybe. Funny enough, a similar story actually happened like a week before that also. Because I also put in for this Japanese band called One OK Rock, which are massive in Japan, and in Germany they play like 1,000 cap rooms. And the local promoter or the local club wanted us to support 2 shows, but they couldn't get a hold of the management. And then like a week out of these 2 shows, I hear back and are like, well, we have bad news. Like, we would like to have you, but the management does not want any support bands. But they want a DJ. Like, do you also play DJ sets?
So
I'll just leave that there.
Absolutely.
You could have done a DJ set, perhaps.
Yeah, that was like, well, I mean,
but
like, what
of your own music?
Play our own music, or do you want
to
put on Spotify some other bands? Do we get paid to do the DJ thing? And like, no, we don't have a budget, but we are looking for a DJ now to open for One OK Rock.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just play your own music.
Yeah. Probably should have done it. Filmed it. Would have made a good TikTok.
Definitely. I noticed that the Fallen State and Liberty Lies, there was a cover version kicking around as well, an AC/DC cover. Was that ever performed? Was that ever performed live at all?
No, it wasn't.
No, when did that happen? That was that must be about 4 years ago now. I think I don't even think we'd finished recording the album at that point. So
didn't you have like
a
few collabs as well, like a few sort of covers and things from I remember. Was there a few cover versions you recorded?
We released Liberty Lies released like a Halloween EP, which was like
yeah.
So coming out of COVID, we were desperately trying to cling on to the band still being a thing, whilst everyone's commitments had kind of moved on, and that was us trying. We don't have to get into a room and write songs, but we'll just do some covers and we'll invite some friends to jump on, and
go in.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like a minimal effort, and we kind of realised after that it wasn't something that we were going to be able to make work for much longer. And to be fair, I think the Fallen State saved that song for us because we just done a bog standard Highway to Hell cover, just because it had the word hell in it that we could get away with putting it on a Halloween EP.
Yeah.
And kind of John and Adam saved it at the time. And
And
we
you-
kind
you
of
did,
brushed that off the Spotify.
You did break up for a while after that, though, didn't you? I think.
Yeah,
For
so
a little while.
we've been split up for about 3 years now. So we haven't played together. We've done 4 practices at this point, trying to get it all back together.
Oh, so
but we were
this tour will be the first shows back then.
Yeah, so we've got a show a week Saturday. So on the 22nd, we're doing like a warm up show. We're supporting Phil Campbell in Wolverhampton, and then
Okay,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
date of tour. So we're coming back for this tour, and then we're done. We're riding off into the sunset. This is kind of like our farewell lap. It's our lap of honour. Just that we kind of just went out with a whimper. We did a few support slots, and yeah, we kind of like the industry took the mick out of us. We got a support slot with the band, and they were paying us £25 a night, which, like, as we're all getting a bit older, just felt like an insult to us. And we're like, yeah, we're done now. And it just went out with the whimper.
Wait, Adam,
Yeah.
you guys are getting paid?
I didn't sound this tour. We're coming. The Fallen State.
What? There's money involved?
Generosity.
Yeah.
Bands get paid. It's like, what?
What's a pay?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're just coming back for this, and then we're, for all intents and purposes, we're done then. So,
Are there any
people need to come.
Are there any sort of recordings you haven't released, or anything you sat on unreleased wise?
Well, we kind of did all that. We did like one final single, which was like a 7-minute like B-side off our album. We've got demos and stuff, but the problem is, like, as all the guys will tell you, like, as soon as you enter into a new cycle, it just becomes a really long process. It becomes really expensive. Like, even just getting this tour on, we've just paid for our merch run, which is more than any money we'll make on the tour. Do you know what I mean? So sorry, Danny, for all that payment that we're getting to come back. But yeah, everything's just so expensive. So it just becomes, if we do something new, it's going to just end up being another, like, run of time that we just can't commit to, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
I'll buy one of your T-shirts to help you out.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So, like, if I can move on to the Fallen State for a second, obviously Ben was out of the band for a while. Is that correct? And then you've recently come back for this tour.
Yeah. So I left in 2020. I actually left just before the pandemic. But then the pandemic happened, and it kind of gave the guys a bit of time to sort of settle and get over it and look for Adam. Really, I think it was quite quick after I left. I think they found Adam, and I don't think they even announced it until they'd released the new single with Adam, which was Knives. So they kind of came out of COVID with like a full release and like a, by the way, we've got a new singer and we're still kicking hard. And I think Adam, I think at that point you kind of done like 5 tunes and you were going back into the studio to do another 5 more and that. So you kind of came out with a bit of a bang, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
at that point we'd done like almost half the album, I think, by the time
so
they'd even announced that I'd joined, sort of thing.
Saying we got a new singer and then you're going to have to wait for us to write something. It was like, we've got a new singer and here's some music and what the band's going to sound like going forward, which is kind of cool, really. It kind of gives a bit of a
bigger impact sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I mean, I've just been laying low. I kind of went straight off socials. Like I didn't even know these guys had done a Halloween album. Like Liberty Lies had done a Halloween album, and I used to follow everything they released until I joined the band back in like a month or 2 ago when I said I'd come and do the tour, and then obviously I had to re-download all the social media apps and say hello to everyone again and all that sort of stuff. So for me, it's a bit weird, really, because I've literally just been living like civvy life, away from the music and just kind of holding down a normal kind of job and spending time with family and that. So yeah, it was an interesting one when I said, I mean, the guys reached out, like Greg reached out and said, are you up for doing another tour with us and that? And I said, look, I am on the one condition that Adam's like proper cool with it, because the one thing I don't want is to be going on tour with like ego battle the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's just it.
So, but Adam, like, I mean, I'd met Adam because we'd played with him in Doncaster and he was cool then. And then when they toured last time, I came down to a couple of shows and sort of said hello to them all. And you know, the vibe was still cool there. So I was like, look, they're all decent dudes, and you know, I saw obviously Liberty Lies and Psycho Village on the bill, and I was like, we had such a wicked time in 2018 that I was like, yeah, if we're gonna have a tour, it's with those guys, and it's, you know, it would be a good laugh, you know what I mean? So it kind of sold itself to me a bit. And then yeah, really, then myself and Adam probably have done more chatting than we've ever done previously to that, when we're trying to sort of figure out the set and how we're gonna make the songs work, and then obviously Adam's come down and we've done you know, some like rehearsals and stuff, and yeah, man, I'm probably buzzing for it now. So yeah, it'd be slick.
So, like, do you plan on doing anything with the guys after this tour, or is it just for this sort of purpose?
I mean, it depends what gigs they.
Like, if they're good enough,
it's going to be pub shows, absolutely not. But if they're going to be playing Wembley Arena, I might stick around.
So, like, in terms of the setup, then how are the vocals being split, and what's the plan there then? What's the ratio in terms of how the songs are being performed and things? We figured that part out.
Yeah, we kind of split it in a way where no one's going to disappear for a long time or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, some people suggested, oh, is Ben just going to do the songs that he'd sang, and then am I going to do the ones that I'd done? Which would make a fucking terrible short night for me. Maybe about 4 songs for me, I think.
And he'd be walking on and off all the time as well. And
like I think we pulled it together in the way we're going to sort of integrate each song where we both do it, and some of the songs really lend themselves naturally to like a change in the vocalist sort of thing. So it's gonna, like, I think people are gonna really like be surprised at how good it has come together, like how well it's come together. Because the idea of it is a little bit like when we was thinking of how we're gonna do it, who's gonna sing what, is a little bit daunting. You're thinking, is it just gonna sound like two singers trying to sing the same song, which is obviously essentially what we're doing, but we want to do it in a way where it's gonna be pretty cool. And I think people will be surprised actually how well it's come together.
It could sound quite big.
I'll be honest with you. Like when I was writing those old tunes, we were just like, what's going to sound good on the record, right? And then we'll figure it out live later. With a lot of the vocals anyway, and so really most of them were sung for like a boy band with like 4 singers. Like there's nowhere to breathe. You know what I mean? You're sat there choking the whole time.
Yeah.
Like
we was at rehearsal.
Like, you have to compromise a bit, you know. So because there's a big line coming up, you're compromising on the 2 lines coming up to it, so you hit that note. Whereas now there's kind of both of us. There's no compromising on any of it. Like you can just belt everything the whole way through. So it's cool. Like when we were rehearsing together, I was like, oh man, this is like the happiest I've ever been with performing these songs, because they're actually getting the justice they kind of deserve.
Like I said at rehearsal, we've finally got enough lungs in the band.
Previously.
It'll be good, and I mean, it probably will sound quite big as well, and quite huge in terms of being able to give that little bit more oomph to the songs and things. Could be a real good thing, actually. Yeah.
It's like Ben said, like, you know, like there's no bits where you're just trying to, you know, catch your breath before the next bit. So every single bit is delivered absolutely full on because of the way we put it together.
It sounds huge. It'll probably sound huge, but it will, I think. It'll be good. And it's something that people wouldn't have seen before as well. So that was an extra draw again into this tour. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Moving on to Danny and Psycho Village. I know you guys have just announced an Asia tour, if I'm correct.
We have.
Well. Has that been a long time in the making?
So.
Yeah.
I've been talking to the agent that books it since I toured with the Bunny the Bear back in, when was it? You were in one of the shows?
2021, possibly?
I think it was late 22 probably.
22,
Anyways,
I think, actually. Yeah, 22.
We toured with the Bunny the Bear and Cabin Boy Jump Chip, and Cabin Boy worked with the guy in the past apparently, and he hit me up or connected me to Jab, is the name of the agent, and I've just been going back and forth with the guy ever since then, and just didn't really find the right time, and you know, also money wise it will be a bit difficult, to be honest, because like tickets over there are like really cheap. They're like 3 to 5 USD. What's that in pounds? That's like £2.
£2,
So-
150.
Yeah, 150.
Yeah, something
But
like
yeah, like now, I have the time of work. I'm kind of in between different projects, and I have the time, and it was just a good time to connect it with the UK tour. And I was like, well, why not? I can bring my girlfriend. We'll have like an extra week of vacation after that, and that's basically it. So I see it as like a big 4-week adventure, trying to see countries and places I haven't been to, and hopefully playing to some people. We'll see if anyone shows up, but
yeah, getting
Yeah.
getting more of a reach in somewhere you otherwise wouldn't have been as well. It's always good to sort of push yourself out there further as well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely a big
yeah.
adventure, and like there's so many flights involved. I think on this tour we will have like 11 or 12 flights between 12 shows or something. So, that will be an adventure. But yeah, we'll be to Bangkok, to Saigon, Manila, Bali, which I'm really excited about because I've seen all the pretty influencer girls talk about Bali, and apparently it's really nice. And now we're playing a show there, and we have like 2 or 3 off days after that. So, that would be cool. But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
really
exactly,
looking forward to the UK tour, though.
I mean, Psycho Village are quite regular to the UK. I mean, is it a place you particularly enjoy performing, or out of sort of other places? I know you're quite regular over these parts.
Man, we just love the UK's hospitality at venues. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Are there any
And I
particular?
get 25 quid a show as
Are
well.
there
so-
are there any particular places, like this applies to all you, but are there any particular places you guys are particularly looking forward to visiting on this upcoming tour? UK wise, like obviously.
I'm looking forward to Bournemouth because we were a band for 15 years and never once played Bournemouth. So on our farewell tour, we're saying hello to Bournemouth.
Fair
But other
enough.
than
Yes,
that-
fair enough.
Yeah,
I have a
they're
terrible
all
story
good.
about Bournemouth, actually, if you want to hear it real quick.
You got a lot of
Yeah,
terrible stories.
Go
Danny.
ahead.
Are you
Be
sure
great.
you should be in a band?
I think we're just going to make a podcast of Danny by himself, just talking about terrible stories. It'd be great. It'd be great. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I probably shouldn't say this online, but whatever. So the proper Ashley Simpson moment, really. So we toured with Het PE, and we played Bournemouth, the same venue we're going to play with you guys. Sold out, like, I don't know, 200 people or something. It's a sweat box. Like, they had a barricade, and people, especially there, also Southampton, they got really wild. So they started moshing from the first song on, and it looked kind of dangerous. And since I'm
rock
the only
gig.
one, since I'm the only one in my band that actually can sing, we have backing vocals on the backing tracks, as many bands do these days, right?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, to be fair, like, I'm the only one that's singing live, and you can hear backing vocals. So, like, yeah, there you go. So the moshing, like the 4 or 5 people that are moshing, pushed over the barricade. Barricade falls straight into my mic stand. My mic stand crashes my mic right into my face. Like, I had like a cut like this. Mic falls on the floor. But like, obviously the drummer and bassist keep playing, and there's still the backing tracks with backing vocals going on, and I'm like desperately looking for my mic. And this was the very first song of the set. That was a bit embarrassing.
So it's just got these random outbursts of your voice coming through the PA and things.
Well, it wasn't even my voice. It was like, I don't know. So I think on the studio, especially on that song, someone else did the backing vocals.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah.
Same again in April then.
Yeah, don't
Let's
do
go
that,
knock his
Dan.
microphone off, lads.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I'll probably put a second mic on stage just to make sure.
One thing I noticed as well was apparently you forgot you filmed a music video. Is that correct?
Who
You
did?
sat Psycho Village. You're sat on a music video that is unreleased. Apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How can you forget you did a music video? Is my question there.
Well, forget. Like, we just never really got to
Releasing it.
releasing it. Like, we shot 3 music videos in 1.5 days. One was Fragile, the second Legendary, and the third one, the song called Forever.
Hmm.
And we shot the videos without the songs being like, we shot them with the demos of the songs because we hadn't recorded the songs yet fully.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, just years went by. Like, this is 2021, I believe, or 22. I'm not sure. And then we had other songs that had more priority, and Forever was one of the last songs to be released. And then when it came to be released, I couldn't find the video sessions because it was like on one of my old computers. And yeah, long story short, I just found one of the demo cuts of the video on my hard drive, and I just synced it with the new audio version. So now I have the video, and I'll put it out.
Created the music
Nice.
video from it all. Yeah. So, anybody got anything else they'd like to add in? Anything else to plug or promote? Any new material from anybody?
I don't know, Adam. Are we allowed to announce it, or are we meant to be like sitting on?
Yeah, what you sat on? What you guys sat on?
I've not had the
You've
brief.
got to now.
So I don't...
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if we're allowed to. I mean,
I don't know. Something big's coming.
We can probably hint to it a little bit, can't we? We've got something coming out on the 28th. A little bit of a supercut.
28th of what?
New tunage.
28th of what?
We've got a tune coming out on the 28th. Yeah.
Of what
Single.
month?
This
March.
much.
This month. Yeah.
Okay.
That's like really
Yeah,
soon,
so
yeah.
it's one of the songs that's been previously released, but we've just gone back in and made some kind of remixed it a bit. I wouldn't say remixed it, but we made like quite a lot of changes to it, added a load of like new layers to it, cut it up a bit, taken like drums out of parts and added like some more quirky elements, and then Chuck's the singer that wasn't originally on it is now singing on it and stuff. So kind of got both of us singing on it.
Yeah. Any memories from previous tours that are particularly memorable?
I think one of the best times we had was at Bideford. We finished the tour in Bideford, didn't we? Whereas I think you guys normally start with it, or it's normally one of the first dates, like it is on this tour. And that was, and like we stripped. We all got on stage for Psycho Village. For It's Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we come on and stripped Richie's kit at the end of the Fallen States set. And like, you don't even think at the time that people have paid to come to that gig, and we just ruined it. Just because we had such a good time. We're like, yeah, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. We've just had a good time. And then you realise after, like, oh, maybe people wanted to hear the last song properly without all the cymbals took off stage or whatever.
Slowly start unscrewing things.
But yeah,
I've seen people post
one of the best.
Yeah, I've seen people post videos about that though recently. So I guess people enjoyed it. The tour pranks are always
It's still
the
a
most
moment,
fun, right?
isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's still like
if it
good
works out,
experience,
which it did for us, right? Because we tried to. What did we try to do? We wanted to put up the video walls in front of you guys and show like mountains and goats, I believe, but we couldn't get the projector to work. That was a bit embarrassing. So you were just playing behind like a wall of nothingness. But yeah, we tried.
Yeah, tour pranks, man. No, it was funny.
Yeah.
That tour was funny, to be fair.
And like,
it's one of the best tours we ever did.
Any other stories we're probably not allowed to share because they're very private.
Yeah, man.
Especially
I mean,
Psycho
mine's
Village
got to
with
be
their, camper.
Yeah, mine's got to be the sneaking off to the RV and all the random like with your old drummer back in the day, and he's just sat there just making everyone giggle because he was, I'm so German, like, you know what I mean, every time.
Yeah.
Like...
he was very German. I can tell you that much. Who was it? Was it Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas was going, what he goes, what do you think is your stereotypical German guy? Obviously in like a really heavy German accent. And I was like, Lucas, I'd say like, I think like, you know, they're very diligent, precise people, probably an engineer. And he was just like, that's so funny because I'm German and my father is an engineer. And he's probably like 16 or something, wasn't he? He was young at the time, and he was just absolutely, all of us was creasing. But yeah, that RV was fun, man. I must say. Like we got hotels at that point, but we still were just sneaking out to a freezing cold RV to just drink beers all night and just hang out in the back.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was good. It was good laughs, honestly.
I remember, if I'm allowed to share this. If not, then say it, and Gareth will edit it out. But because you mentioned sneaking out, you were also trying to sneak in, right? Sneak back into the room. And I think I remember one occasion where you tried to sneak in, and then like you kind of came back and you were like, "We can't do it. We can't get in without anyone waking up, so we got to stay a bit longer." Do I remember that right?
Yeah, man. Getting undressed in a travel lodge hallway, like, because we didn't want to make any noise in the room because like everyone was really light sleepers and we were out late and like and I think it must have been like me and Rich or something, and we're just like literally getting undressed in a travel lodge hallway to try and sneak in so we didn't make any noise. So like undoing the belt would have woken people up, and but the problem was because we was like giggling, you know what I mean, like proper laughing about it. So as we open the door, Rich just like bursts into laughter, and we're like, "Fuck!" Slam the door and just run off. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like,
and like
can't help but give it away.
After that, didn't you guys just wait in front of like the truck stop and didn't come back, and then Max found you guys on the way to the restroom or something?
Yeah, just creasing, just like absolutely laughing our heads off.
Yeah,
just couldn't go back home. We just want to go to sleep now, but we can't.
Yeah, and then we just kept drinking.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
That's what you do. Good times. We were a bit younger back then too.
Yeah, I didn't have so many greys then. Jesus.
We're all going to be sensible now, aren't we? On this tour.
Absolutely. This is going to be the sensible tour.
I think it's going to be a bit more calmer this time. A bit calmer this time as we go into it. Or
we say that, and then we get to the first night, and then it just won't be.
You never know. You never know.
Well, we have an off day or two.
Where's the first day? It was Plymouth, if I'm correct, is it as well?
Yeah, Plymouth's first day.
Yeah.
It's always a good night down in Plymouth as well, to be fair. It's always a good night down there. Because it all depends as well. Sometimes you end up with like one of your big shows that you think is going to be like, you know, somewhere that you want to have like a really good night. You want it to be a Saturday, and it lands on like, you know, a Tuesday evening. You're like, who's going to be up for it on a Tuesday evening? But it's so surprising how much
you forget, don't you? Like, you forget it's a Tuesday because every night on tour is a Saturday, isn't it? So you forget it's like a Wednesday, and you're trying to like get everyone right up, you know, bang into it and into a show, and it's like fucking these people have just been to work and they've got work tomorrow as well.
Yeah, that's always the thing there. But like, you can't have every date on a Saturday. That's the problem. So it's like, yeah, I imagine it's very easy to lose track of days, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like every day does feel like a Saturday, regardless of the day it is.
Yeah.
And it's like completely acceptable to start drinking at 2 PM because you're on tour, sort of thing. So
yeah.
There's nothing
as much as we say we're gonna. No, exactly. Yeah. Sound check, get drunk.
I mean, so unless you guys have got anything else to add, I suppose we can wrap things up there, really.
You want to plug Splinter, Adam?
I mean, yeah, I'm at work right now. If anybody's in and around the Black Country, you're welcome to come down for rehearsals or lessons, whatever you want. But yeah, if not, then don't. It's fine. But yeah, just come to the tour. Just come to the tour. That's the important bit. Come to the tour wherever you can, whatever. I mean, you've seen Danny's stories. We all want to see Danny get hurt or lose his microphone somewhere. We all need to see how the Fallen State singer thing's going to work. We're all excited for that. And then we're in between. So, yeah, man, just come to the tour.
Yeah, so tickets are on sale now. And the first date is on the 3rd of April, I believe, in Plymouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Awesome.
I'm glad you know.
Yeah, somebody knows. Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you all. I know we had a few technical difficulties in getting to the stage, so it's made it all more worthwhile, really, there. And I hope you've enjoyed.
Yeah, Thank you.
Yeah, and everybody don't forget to get your tickets for the tour. And I hope it goes very well for you all.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Nice one. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having us on.
Cheers.
Good seeing all of you.